There's this myth in sports, especially like you remember we watched I was talking about the VHS superstars, like when they put out videos of NBA players or professional players on the whole, there's a myth of brotherhood, right? But that myth doesn't count the business aspect of the NBA. You're literally competing with your teammates for your livelihood. So if you're competing with your teammates for your livelihood, where is the space for brotherhood? I think you had a unique situation with Steve Francis that you guys really connected, right? But how often does that occur in professional sports on that
Well,
on that level?
there's two things, right? Um, One is Steve and I play different positions. Two is as dominant as I could be in scoring, I don't have it in me to be top tier selfish, right? Back then I'm like, I'll lose my friendship with Steve if I go for 30 every night, right? Or if I go to Orlando, or if I go to Sacramento, if I go to the Clippers, right? I'll lose my friendships, and I don't want people to view me as like some greedy, selfish individual. So that personality wasn't in me. This person, well, Gilbert Arenas and Tracy McGrady, they were like, I don't care. Y'all follow me. I'm not following you. And Kobe Bryant, I love that mentality, but it just wasn't in me. Now, I can score with the best of them. Shooting threes 40%, mid-range 44, 45, right? Like I'm cool. Scoring wasn't a problem. It was just that my sense of worth, right? I think was
Fire is humanity. You still were in touch with your humanity
right.
when you were playing. You weren't just like you didn't have that like not to. I don't like using that word killer mentality because that doesn't capture the essence of it. There's a part I believe where like to achieve certain things, you lose your humanity to do it. And it just sounds like you still had an essence of your humanity,
For sure,
which
for
didn't
sure,
allow you to do whatever needed to be done, the highest level of selfishness to achieve the most in your craft.
for sure. Like it was times, man, where I score like 15 first quarter, 12 first quarter, and then I feel bad, and I give the ball up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, I always wanted to be a part of the group, never lead the group. Until I started getting older, and I was always captain of every team. And then I started getting older, and I was fine with leading the group, but letting everybody else shine. That was my role with the Clippers, with Elton Brand and Corey Maggette and Sean Livingston and Sam Cassell, right? So it was like, I can score 25 a game, but what's that going to do for Corey and Elton? We got to get them score.
And what does that do for the team in the locker room?
Exactly. That's my point. A lot of guys don't care. A lot of guys don't care.
And I think I'm glad we're having this conversation because, unfortunately, and no disrespect to people, I think a lot of conversations are wasted with legends like yourself because it's too much talk about fighting, womanizing, and other BS, but not enough conversations about the actual craft and the things that player goes through and the nuances of being an NBA player, you know?
You know, that's what sells, all the stuff you were just saying, right? But then the actual intellectual part, right? The actual, um, the in-depth humane part of the game, right? That is something that's boring to, the majority of people. It's like they pegging you against each other, and or you don't have rings and you don't have this and you got this and you got that, and not really understand the intellect or the cerebral, Chris Paul and LeBron James and Rondo and all these brilliant computers, right, in a human body playing this game of basketball and not really understanding how you think, right? Like I people don't really understand. They make things happen. When I played the Big Three, my first year in the Big Three, we lose in the semifinals. They asked me after it, they said, what are you going to do next year? I said, as long as I got Corey Maggette, I'll win it. I'm not worried about nothing else. We won it the next year. The year after that, we went 4-1. Corey was out, and when he come back, I said, we're going to win it again. But I tore my leg. I tore my leg up. So, like, I just know how to. A lot of people don't know how to play. And not just basketball, but the life. You got to start understanding other people's personalities around you. Now, when you're a little boy, little girl, it's hard to understand mom and dad. But when you start getting older, they should not bother you no more. You should know their strengths and their weaknesses and try to keep them more around their strengths than their weaknesses. The lady you deal with, your kids, everything, you should understand as a man because you're playing the game. And these people, guess what? You can't trade the kid in. You can't trade this in. You might get divorced the person, but then you're going to find another person like the last person because you didn't clean up all the trauma you had with inside yourself. So you just got another person that's just like the person you just left, right? So when you just really start understanding how to play the game and what am I best used for in this moment, in this family, in this team, in this everything? How do I serve? How can we be great? And if we really understood that, forget we ain't never been no woman. So as men, if we can understand that, how can I be my best for what I have right now? It's the same thing in basketball. It's the same thing in football. How can I be my best for us right now? It's not no everything about me, money I make, this, that, whatever. Boo, 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 boo. No. That's not good. You can do that golf. You can do that tennis, singles, right? But you can't even do that in baseball if you up to bat. You up to bat strategically for your other players. Whether you're going to hit a home run or you're going to get on base and the next person does this, that, right? There's always a team element to something.
I wanted to go back on how important a player's actions impacts the locker room, that impacts the performance of your peers on the floor, right? You mentioned how you made a conscious decision that, hey, I could do certain things or to make sure other people were able to get theirs, right? How hard is that decision? The reason I ask you is that in my book and many others, you've always been an all-star. I don't think you made the all-star team during that time in the league, right?
No.
And there's this obsession with personal accolades. How do you balance personal accolades because you still need to get paid, stay on the team, right? Realistically, but at the same time, the benefit of the team. How do you balance personal success versus team success?
I think the personal success is making it to the NBA. Once you get into the NBA, it's more team concept. So I can't speak for everybody else. I had 4 parents, 2 fathers who loved me, kissed me, hugged me. So I can't speak for everybody else. I just know that I was a part of a team. My mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, my brothers, my sisters. I was a part of a team. I wasn't that team, I was a part of a team. So I don't know everyone else. I would say that personal is getting to the league, right? It'd be great to make All-Star, but back then it was a lot of bigs that be getting picked, and I was always in the West. But you know, the personal accolades, it just shows that the hard work. You know, it's just a lot of things that go on that I think, yeah, it'd be great. But what you can do as far as a team is more complicated, and then getting everybody on the same page to you know, meet the goal that you guys are, you know, striving for is, for me, my own personal kind of reward, right? For instance, going to the Los Angeles Clippers, and they're not making the playoffs in 14 years, and I go there and I'm like, yeah, we're going to make the playoffs. And the reporters and everybody was like, yo, you crazy? And I'm like, no. He said, why are you so cocky? I'm like, I don't know about that word, but I'm gonna tell you this. I think we can make it, period. That's it. I'm not gonna let you change my mind because you feel how you feel about life. Your opinion on life has nothing to do with me.